Hello everybody, welcome back to Steve's Gear. And today I thought I would do a little bit of an update on my EDC. Every once in a while I jump on here and make a little video about kind of what I'm carrying. So if you've seen some of my other videos, some of this stuff will probably look kind of familiar for you. There might be a few new things in there. It's also kind of a way for me to give some updates on a few items I do videos on. I'm not the best at making update videos, but a couple of these items I'll kind of talk a little bit more about them. I'm a big fan of watching EDC videos on YouTube. I'm not into the color coordinated, really fancy ones as much, but the ones just to see what people carry and what's useful for them. So I thought I'd just make one. This video might be a little bit longer, so I apologize in advance. Feel free to grab a beverage or skip around however you want, and we'll get started. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my work carry and then some of my personal carry. The personal carry is pretty low. So just some background. I work out of a service vehicle. I don't have an office or an office space or anything like that. So a lot of times I have dedicated tools and equipment on the service vehicle. So this is just stuff that goes in my pockets or I kind of bring between the house and the service vehicle every day. So the first item is we'll talk about the knife. So every day that I've been working, I've been carrying this Spyderco Native. I did a video on this a while back and I really like it. So this one's actually been in the pocket ever since I got it. I found for me, it's a great work knife for a couple different reasons. One is I wear gloves probably about 80% of the time I'm working. And these bi-directional patterns on the hair, provide a really good amount of grip. So if I get a little bit wet or whatever, I can still grip it good. Spider hole's big enough where I can work it with my gloves. And while the lock system isn't real fidgety, it works good with gloves. It's easy to push it and then just kind of close it. So it's worked out pretty good. The pocket clip I like. I mean, it's not a deep carry, but it's never came out of my pocket. And I don't really care about a deep carry too much while I'm working. The blade shape, I like it. This isn't a hard use thing. I don't use my knives, really hard when I'm working. It's mostly just cutting tape, cutting boxes, zip ties, some plastic, little things like that. And so this one's held up really good. S30V steel. Haven't had to sharpen it yet. And I've been super happy with this one. So if you're not familiar with the Native or you haven't picked one up, it's something you might want to keep an eye out for. The next item is something that's, honestly kind of surprises me that I'm still carrying it. So I picked up this Gerber Slim Bar drive. This is like the basic one. I know they have some that have more tools, but this one, I picked it up on sale on Amazon and I kind of thought it would probably just sit in a pouch or something, but I've actually been carrying it every day. So this one has a blade, a bit driver, and a bottle opener. I don't ever use the bottle opener, but the blade, honestly, the knife isn't very good. It went dull after about a week. I just kind of use it as a scraper, if I got to scrape stickers off something or, something like that. I don't even bother with sharpening it anymore. But the bit driver is what I actually like. So a lot of times if I'm going to be working on something, I'll just bring a dedicated screwdriver or whatever I need. But this comes in handy when, when I don't, when I need it and I don't have a screwdriver with me or something. It's just got a little Phillips and a flathead, just interchangeable. It's got a little magnet in there, but it's got a good amount of grip. Good amount of grip and some reach. So, you can screw stuff in pretty good. It doesn't lock into this position or anything, but you can angle it and get a little more torque if you want to go like that. And I've been kind of surprised on how much this actually came in handy when I've been out working. So if you're in the market for a little screwdriver, something to carry around with you, it's not too bad of an item. You can find it on sale. Now the flashlight even kind of surprises me. I did a video a while back on this Olight Arc Flex, and I've been carrying it every day for work pretty much. There's some things I really like about this one. So I thought it was going to be kind of a gimmick when I first got it, but I've learned to kind of like this shape. So it's a little more flatter. It's not round. When I wear it, I typically I wear a vest pretty much every day, and I keep it clipped onto the vest on kind of where the zipper's at, and it kind of just rides against my chest. And I kind of like the form factor of this one for that. Also, if I decide to stick it in my pocket, it's a little less of a print. And then the head is the flexible head on it. And I didn't really know how this was going to work, if this was going to hold up or if it's going to be kind of a gimmick. But for me, it's worked out pretty good. So I spend a lot of time working outside. So it's been in, dirt, sand, rain, snow, freezing temperatures. And it still works just like I got it, just like it was brand new. So it's worked out pretty good. I like the long pocket clip on it. Well, I don't really carry it in the pocket as a pocket clip. I keep it clipped onto my hat a lot. Almost the whole time I'm using it, it's clipped onto my hat. And so it's got plenty of real estate here, to clip on your hat and be sturdy. And then having this articulating head, I found it's kind of good for my posture. So if I'm working in kind of a confined spot or I'm sitting down or something, instead of having to aim my head that direction, I can kind of just aim the light a little bit. So it's kind of been beneficial for me. It does have a magnetic base here. I use that every once in a while. Now it does have Olight's proprietary charging, which some people like, some people don't. I kind of wish it did have a USB-C port also, but obviously it doesn't have it. Now I have one of those charging docks at home, so I get home from work, I pull it out, I stick it on the dock, I grab it and go in the morning. If I travel, I just got to remember to have the cable with me. So that's the only kind of downside, I guess, of it. It also has a pretty floody beam, which for my work, I like the floody beams. I don't need to see far away. I just need to see mostly close up. Brightness-wise, it's been pretty good. I use it a lot on high mode or turbo mode. Battery life gets me through the whole day, no problem. A lot of times I can go 2 days. So far, I've actually been pretty surprised. Surprisingly enough for me, this one, if it was to get damaged or lost, I might even buy the same one, which is unusual. Normally, I just move on to a different light and don't even think about the previous one. So far, this one's been pretty good. The next item is the Leatherman. So this is the Wave Plus. I did a video on this a long time ago, back when I kind of first started. I still carry the Leatherman probably about 4 out of the 5 days a week. Some days I just know that I'm not going to be, doing a whole lot outside, so I probably won't really need it on me. But like I said, a lot of times I'll carry the dedicated tools if I need them, but this is great. I mean, Leathermans are great for the times when you need a tool and you don't have one with you, or something comes up and you need one. So I use the pliers and the wire cutters quite a bit. I do have a bit driver on here that I use sometimes. Every once in a while I use the scissors and even the knife or something occasionally if I need it. But yeah, I mean, the Wave Plus is a great thing. I've always kind of thought about upgrading to the Arc, but honestly, this does everything I need it to do. I did pick up the little bit of the expanded pouch, and I carry a couple extra bits in there. And then I carry a little pin on the side in case I need a little pin while I'm out and about. Now, as I've got older, I've kind of realized I like to carry less. So for me, having a less amount of stuff in my pockets is good. I'm already kind of a big dude, and I have to get up and down off the ground and be in small spaces and things like that. So I go kind of light. Now, this does have some heft to it, so but for me, the heft is kind of worth it. I carry it on the belt, and then it's not quite as noticeable. But yeah, great item. So we'll go over the watch. Watch is nothing fancy. I carry an Apple Watch. Now this is one that has a cellular connection because for work I have a work phone and a personal phone. Typically I just leave the personal phone in the service vehicle all day, and I can get calls and texts on this if there's an emergency or anything. So I like having the cellular version of the Apple Watch. Pretty good item. For a wallet, I've been carrying this OpenSea leather wallets. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I'm a big fan of OpenSea leather. Now, same thing. I just leave this in the service vehicle all day. I typically don't keep it in my pockets, but I really like it. I think if you're in the market for a nice leather wallet, I don't think you can go wrong with OpenSea. I always think about changing to something else, but I don't know. These ones always kind of keep me sucked in. It still has that great leather smell. Everything still functions. There's no problems. And yeah, I'm a big fan of these wallets. So if you're in the market for one, I would suggest OpenSea leather. Now, the other thing that comes in and out of the house with me every day is this little notebook. So it's made by Range Leather. I did a video on this one in the past as well. Now, as you can tell, I have a habit of keeping this on the dash of the service vehicle, so it's kind of been sun faded. You can see where I keep some business cards and kind of the difference in color here. Now, it does have a little field notes book in it, so I write down some numbers and stuff throughout the day, some math and stuff like that. But yeah, still great shape. It is picking. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. Probably not. But it's got a couple cracks where it's kind of getting a little bit of cracks from being in the sun so much. That's my fault. No fault of the book or the leather. I did condition it somewhat recently, but still, I have faith that this is going to last me many, many years, and it's just picking up some interesting patina. I changed out the pen recently. My old pen kind of blew up, and I kind of got a little bit of ink residue still left from that. But yeah, I mean, these are a little bit expensive, but I think that they're going to last you a long time. And they do look really good when they're new. Just don't leave them in the sun all day if you don't want them to look like this. All right. The next item is the Nutsack Double Admin Pouch. I'm a big fan of Nutsack products. I have quite a few of them. I got quite a few videos on them. And this Double Admin Pouch works out great for me. It just carries the few things that I need to keep them a little bit organized and not have them rolling all over the service vehicle. Stuff in here kind of changes, depending on what I'm going to be doing, but the stuff in here now is pretty much what rides around with me all day. So if you haven't seen the nutsack admin pouch, it's pretty nice. It's a pretty good sized pouch. It's got a bunch of MOLLE on the front. You can put stuff on. I got a little Sharpie stuck in there for a backup. And then it does have a couple straps in here if you want to attach it to another bag or anything like that. It's got a couple loops here where you can buy an optional sling part for it. I don't use that part. This pretty much just rides in the passenger seat, so it doesn't get a whole lot of wear or dirty or anything. But it's nice to keep things organized. So I have a little Night Eyes S-Beaner on there. You know, I keep it clipped onto something sometimes so it doesn't roll around, or I put a water bottle on it or something so I can just carry it all together. Then on this side, I carry a little Eye Mini by Olight. Now this is just a little magnetic part here. You just pull it off and the light turns on. And then it has a little USB port right there, a little charger where you can just stick it in the dash and charge it up. For me, this is perfect because my work truck is a 2023 F-150 and it's got the rubber floors. Sometimes stuff slides between seats underneath the seat, and I love to just pull this little light off and I can look down there and find it. So it's a good option for me. Now on the inside, I got it pretty full of stuff. You know, I'm on the road a lot too, so sometimes I just need some random stuff. I won't go through every single item in here, but I'll kind of give you guys an overview of the stuff real quick. So on this side, I have a little Altoids tin first aid kit. I got a couple, you know, lens cleaners. I wear safety glasses pretty much all the time, so I always keep a little extra wipes. Got some mosquito wipes in there. This has been pretty beneficial. It's a little Bactine liquid bandage. You know, I get a little cuts and scrapes and stuff, and it's kind of nice just to put that on it and clean it up. And it gives you a little thin layer of a bandage you can wear underneath my gloves. On this side, I carry a lighter. I don't smoke or anything, but every once in a while I need to singe a thread or something, so it's kind of nice to have it. I keep some AirPod Pros. You know, if I'm working somewhere and I don't have to worry about really paying attention as much, you know, I'll put on a podcast, listen to some music or something. This is a relatively new item I threw in here. This is the Swiss Army Huntsman. Now I kind of just threw this in here just because I wanted to build up some patina eventually. I think I'm going to transfer it to my fishing bag, but you know, it's got scissors and blades and, you know, flathead and a couple different tools, and I really like these wood scales. So I haven't used it very much in here, but I like to have it in there. Keep a couple extra hearing protection in there, and that's pretty much it for that. So just a little bit of your basic stuff, kind of grab and go. Now the other side's kind of a little bit of my tools and admin stuff. So on this side, I got a bunch of pens and pencils and stuff. I'm still carrying that Phoenix T6 light pen I did a video on. Just a twist pen. It has a little light in it. You know, it's been a good pen. I don't use the light a ton, but it does kind of come in handy every once in a while. And some markers and stuff. I carry a backup i5R. That was another one of my original videos. The i5R I think is a great backup light. I've had this one for a long time. If I ever forget my flashlight or something happens, at least I know I got this one in here. Keep a couple of these little Velcro kind of zip tie type things. Great for organizing cables in the vehicle. You know, if you got cell phone chargers or whatever and the big long cables and you want to tighten them up a little bit, those work out great. I keep some chapstick in here. Pretty self-explanatory. I keep a little extendable magnet. If I drop a screw or something, sometimes it's easy to get it out of a tight spot. On this side, I carry the Leatherman Micra. I even had this one customized, and I did a video on this a while back. Now, while I really like this, I like the idea of this. In practicality, I don't use it very much. You know, I kind of forget it's here. You know, the scissors, they do work good, but a lot of times I just use my knife or I use the scissors on the Leatherman. So I don't use it as much, but I still carry it in here. Same thing with these little Knipex pliers, or Knipex, however you want to say it. I do like these. They do have really good grip for the size, but a lot of times I just have dedicated pliers on me, and so I don't pull these out as much. Occasionally, there's some little valves that I turn and stuff, and sometimes these come in handy, so sometimes I'll grab them and just bring them with me when I'm going somewhere. Now this Gerber pry brid, if you guys haven't seen this, it's kind of like a utility knife from Gerber. You can find it on sale a lot on Amazon and stuff. I really like it. You know, it's awesome just to throw in a blade, and you can break down a lot of boxes or whatnot. You don't have to worry about damaging your knife blade or getting it dirty, or if you're cutting a box that has a bunch of staples, you don't have to worry about hitting a staple or something. So I like this thing. It's been pretty handy. It does have kind of like a little nail puller / pry thing on it. I don't use that a whole lot, mostly just for the utility function, but it's worked great. So a big fan of that one. And then I also have a pry bar in there, an Olight or O-knife or whatever pry bar. Honestly, I don't ever really use that. I'm not a big pry bar type guy. You know, pry bars don't interest me too much. but it's in there in case I ever need it. And then in the middle, I have this little CountyCom Ultim case. I think I got it off some promo or something. Now I have like a Tums in there. I normally carry some Tums and some ibuprofen. I need to refill it because I used up all the ibuprofen. But it does its job. I mean, it carries some pills in there, easy to slip in here. And then I carry a bunch of these little expandable towelettes where you just put some water on them and they expand. I mean, I do a lot of travel. Sometimes it's through small towns or farmland or whatnot. And sometimes there's an outhouse every once in a while. Gas station food. I mean, you get the picture, probably what I use them for. I won't go into any more detail about that. Yeah, the pouch is awesome. Zipper works good. I haven't had any problems. I really like it. So, what else I carry to work while I'm working? So, I did a video on this big Yeti jug. Big fan of Yeti stuff, some of the Yeti stuff, and this one's been great. It just rides around in the vehicle so it doesn't get beat up or anything, but it keeps water cold all day, doesn't leak. You know, it's like I said, I work outside quite a bit, so it's good to stay hydrated. I'm even thinking about upgrading to a bigger size than this one, maybe getting the gallon one at some point. But so far, this one's worked out pretty good. And then I also have been carrying this one, which I did a video on, just kind of very standard plastic water bottle, but it's worked out good. I keep this in the center console, in the cup holder, and then I just fill it up from the jug throughout the day. You know, no leaks, no problems. There's been lots of times this winter where it froze solid because it's so cold, and I left it in the service vehicle, and it's never cracked, never leaked, nothing. So big fan of that one. And that's pretty much it for the stuff that I carry at work. You know, what I just bring in and out of the house every day when I'm going to work. I'll talk a little bit about my personal stuff. Like I said, I don't like to carry a lot of stuff in my pockets. As I've got older, I've kind of went more minimal. You know, I used to carry a bunch of stuff all the time and always felt like I needed to be prepared, but I never used any of this stuff. So, you know, a lot of times I just have the wallet, like I said, the watch. Sometimes I do wear this G-Shock. So if I go fishing or something, or I'm going out on the hike or something, a lot of times I'll just wear the G-Shock. I've had this one for a long time. I don't even know how many years I've had this. I think I replaced the battery in it just one time. But yeah, it still works fine. I mean, obviously these things are pretty indestructible. So it's a good watch. I always carry a knife. A lot of times I carry a flashlight. Most of the time I have a flashlight in my personal truck and stuff too. But if I do carry a flashlight on my person, I've been a big fan of this 4.7's Quirk M3. You know, it's just your basic flashlight, but it's well done. It does have a rechargeable battery inside. It's got the tail switch. I like the color. It's more of a really warm style light. You know, I just have it set up right now for low, medium, and high. And this is kind of the one I like to carry on my days off. Every once in a while, I'll even carry that O light, but I don't know, something about this one I like, so it's nice. Now, as far as knives goes, if you're watching this video, you're probably like me and you probably switch out stuff quite often. So I'll show you guys some of the knives that I've been carrying, you know, the last month or two. Been carrying the Chris Reeve Small Sebenza a lot. I did a video on this one. I never, you know, did a follow-up video on it, but I mean, I have to say I love it. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite knives. I love these Chris Reeve knives. I mean, they're super expensive. I get it. But something about the action on it, I mean, it is not fidgety, but it's super smooth. I love the way that it's built, the materials. This one has the Magna Cut, super sharp. I haven't had to sharpen this one yet, and it's still razor sharp. And, you know, something about a knife, like when you pull it out of your pocket, it makes you happy. For me, that's kind of worth the purchase price. You know, I could buy a bunch of inexpensive knives, you know, $40, $50 knives, and I'm always feel like I'm on the hunt for another one. And something like this, kind of an heirloom piece, I can pass it down or whatnot. I'm a big fan of it. The other one is the Benchmade Osborne. So I did a video on this. I think it was my first video, actually. And I felt kind of bad because I did the video and then I was picking up more knives and I never carried it very much. So I've been trying to give this one some love. Been in the pocket quite a bit. Taking it out on the weekends or whatnot. And yeah, I mean, I really like it. I love the form factor of it. I love the grip. I love the blade shape. I think it's an all-around good knife. That's why it's probably, you know, a classic in most people's eyes. But yeah, so I've been giving that one some love. Another one that kind of surprised me is this Benchmade Shootout. I know it seems like a lot of Benchmades, but this Benchmade Shootout, I like it. I can't exactly say why. I think I actually kind of like these plastic scales on it. I mean, there's something about not worrying about them getting damaged, them being durable. There's a lot of grip on them. The blade's made out of Crewware. Another one that's been really good at edge retention. I haven't had to sharpen this. And it misbroke down a lot of boxes and stuff, and the blade still keeps going strong. I haven't had any problems with the action not working, no failures or anything. And yeah, I've been a big fan of this one. So I don't have a whole lot of experience with OTF knives, but this one has been pretty good for me. And then recently I picked up that new Spyderco Mini Adira. This will probably be one that'll make it into the pocket here for a little while. Still kind of jury's still out on how much I like it, but first impressions, I really liked it. I did take the lanyard off it already, but yeah, it's been pretty good so far. But I'm always rotating around. Sometimes I hit Spyderco, sometimes I hit Benchmades, Chris Reeve, whatever. And sometimes I carry something expensive. Every once in a while I still carry like an Elementum or the Penguin or something. So just kind of constantly changing it up. But that's kind of my EDC carry for my work and my home right now. Let me know in the comments if you liked any of these items or anything you think that I'm carrying I don't need, or something you think I do need and they would benefit. I'd love to hear. Put in the comments maybe 1 or 2 items that you always leave the house with every single day. Thanks a lot for checking this out. Sorry it was such a long video, and I'll see you guys all later. Have a good day.